Roxo Media House.
From the Roxo Media House studios here in Fort Worth, Texas, this is Frogs Today. Football continues conference play this Saturday at Arrowhead Stadium against Kansas, home of the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. Volleyball starts conference play with a doubleheader starting last night against Arizona State and the first ever top 25 matchup at home, and tonight against Arizona. The number one ranked Equestrian started the season number one and are still number one after taking care of business in their rematch of the national championship against SMU last week, winning on overall score as the 10-10 tiebreaker was decided. Your number 22 ranked women's soccer team took down Houston on the road to improve to 3-0-1 and remain undefeated in Big 12 play. They take on Baylor in Waco on Sunday. Men's golf with a short turnaround after returning from Valero on Monday and opened their home season at the prestigious Ben Hogan Collegiate Invitational right down the street at Colonial Country Club on Monday and Tuesday. Men's and women's cross country prepare to take their impressive start to the season to La Tech next week, and we get some sound from the women on this strong start. Another number one ranked program at TCU, Triathlon, returns home after winning their first two races on the road to host the Battle in the Fort at Marine Creek this Sunday at 9 a.m. It's Friday, September 27th, and I'm your host, Meagan Winans from Women's Golf.
And I'm Sofia Barroso, also with TCU Men's Golf. We got a lot of news and updates in the world of TCU athletics in this week's episode of Frogs Today, with football on the road tomorrow, volleyball in the Schollmeyer tonight, and triathlon at home on Sunday.
Let's not forget our team. We returned from Norman on Monday with a fourth place finish, with four of our teammates finishing in the top 20 individually.
Men's and women's tennis are rolling at the ITA All-Americans along with our cross-country teams with 3 meets in the books, and we get some perspective from head coach Roger Cook and his ladies and their impression on where they are as a team.
Swim and dive were supposed to start their season at Florida State, but Mother Nature got in her way. Hurricane Helena was forced to cancel the FSU Classic, and we wish everyone in its path thoughts and prayers.
Men's basketball freshman newcomer Micah Robinson is hosting a camp in Plano this Sunday, and we will bring you more details on that in this episode as well. We will be back after a word from our sponsor, Richard's Rainwater.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richard's Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richard's Rainwater, sip the sky.
We are back in the Roxo Media House studios here in Fort Worth, and I'm your host, Sofia Barroso with Women's Golf. Football is looking to rebound after losing the Iron Skillet to SMU last weekend, and conference play is back. Your 2-2 Horned Frogs take on the Kansas Jayhawks at Arrowhead Stadium tomorrow afternoon, home of the back-to-back Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, and of course, TCU football alums Lucas Niang, Jared Wiley, and Imani Bailey. Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. During the weekly presser, Sonny Dykes and company talks about how the team expects to rebound from the 66-42 loss to SMU last week. Coach Dykes, on his State of the Frog show, mentioned he was pleased about the team's response at practice to start the week and that he and his team remain accountable and look forward to conference play resuming tomorrow.
When you make those kind of mistakes, you got to learn from them. You got to acknowledge your failures, and there were plenty of failures on Saturday. And again, it all started with me, and kind of went from there. And so when you have something like that happened, you have to say, hey, look, we got to get better. Here's how we can do it. Here's how we can improve. And then you show up on Sunday, wear your sleeves up and go to work. And that's the way it works. And so you got to give our players a ton of credit. They've had a terrific mentality. I think they were embarrassed, as just like I was. I think that they were disappointed. But I think at the same time, they realize it's one game out of 12, and we got to improve and get better and put it behind us quickly.
Can you tell us about the after-game message, or even the message on Sunday mornings?
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of the same as it always is. I apologize to the players for what happened, and then all of them took responsibility, just like I did, and that's just part of what you do. And the great thing about our football team is the guys love and respect each other, and there was no finger pointing, there was no complaining. It was a collective effort, and the guys understood it, and we realized we got to get better.
In the minds of the team, they should be 3-1, and in the minds of the Jayhawks, they should be 4-0. So there is a lot at stake tomorrow in a critical Big 12 matchup that can be the turning point for both teams.
It's a big game Saturday. I mean, the thing about it is anytime you play a Big 12 game, it's a big game. And this will be a big one for us against, again, a team that I think people, when the season started, expected them to contend for a conference championship. I saw a lot of picks where Kansas was the pick to win the Big 12 this year. And they've had some bad things happen to them. But they're a very, very good football team. I'm sure they'll be excited about playing us and the matchup. And we're going to have to go play very well.
Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. And what should we expect to see out of Kansas in this important game?
They were a preseason top 25 team. They've lost three consecutive games, which I don't think anybody saw that coming. So I think they're going through a little bit of what we're going through. They lost, 3 one-possession games that could very easily be 4-0 right now instead of 1-3. Really came down to the last play of the game a couple of times, and they just have had some bounces that didn't go their way. So very capable football team. There's a reason they were picked in the top 25 when the season started. A lot of it's because of their quarterback, very versatile runner. They have a very good scheme. They do a nice job running the football. They're going to run it on first down, second down, third down. On fourth down, they're going to run it. I mean, they're a running team. And then they do a nice job with play action and stuff off of the runs. And the quarterback can keep plays alive, can keep his eyes downfield, has a really good group of wide receivers, big guys to throw to, some tight ends that are very good. The 2 running backs are very, very experienced. And then defensively, the personnel is so much better than it used to be. I think that's the big difference in this Kansas team this year and the Kansas teams in the past is their personnel on defense is good. I mean, they've got a really good pass rusher, 2 of the better corners in the Big 12. A lot of guys that can run. I think their team speed is much improved, and just an overall really good football team, and they're very sound on special teams.
Good luck to Coach Dykes and his team. Turning to Equestrian, as mentioned at the top of the show, they ended the season last year as number 2. They started the year this year as number 1. I got a chance to prove that in a rematch of last season's national championship meet against SMU, and it didn't disappoint.
The totals now, TCU 1599.75 to SMU's 1548.50. TCU with the win.
The feeling is incredible. I mean, we were out there with our whole team, and I think just like them announcing it, like we calculated the raw score, and so we were hopeful, but just them announcing it, I mean, the energy was incredible. We got to cheer, we got to be excited with our whole team there, and so I think that is so special.
Captains Ashley Scully and Jessica McAllister spoke after the meet about the win.
We knew that they were going to bring it today. They certainly did. Gave us a run for our money, especially, tying at home. That's not something that happens very, very often for us. We're very strong in all of our events at home. So they really brought some great competition today. They all rode really beautifully, and I'm really proud of our team and how we rode and the rides that we put out, especially, our incoming freshies who came in and really stepped up to the plate. We had some great rides today. We have some things that, we can work on, including myself. I have a lot of personal goals coming out of today for our SEC road trip next week.
I think really, like, even at the very end for horsemanship, it was really nice. Like, they finished up in the flat arena and all the girls came over and you could hear, like, the whole team was, like, cheering and yelling for each other. And that energy was electric.
We all worked really, really well together today. Everything flowed very seamlessly. All the different jobs people had to do, everyone was on top of it. Everyone was great with horse care. You know, if something changed or something unexpected happened, you know, people were really quick to act on it and act responsibly. And I'm really proud of everybody for doing that. You know, as somebody who's, you know, my first year officially leading the team. So I hope that I can help influence others to carry that kind of spark and energy into the rest of our season. You know, we are an all-year sport, and so we got to kind of keep that fire going for a little while. But everybody on the team has a job, no matter if you're riding or not. And it's not about who's riding, it's how we work together as one. And so I think today was a really great example of that.
Everybody's role is so important, and everybody takes charge, and they're awesome. All the girls, like, if they see something that needs to be done, they are right there. They go and do it, and that is so awesome and so important, because without that, we would not be able to hold a meet like we did today.
MOP, Most Outstanding Performer in Reining, was awarded to Shay Graham after the meet, and her emotions got the most of her when talking about her performance and how special her team is.
It's fun to win, it's fun to learn with them, and to have them cheer for me when I show is really special, and yeah. You know, I've been here for 5 years, and I think every year I was just, oh, I have another year, and it's coming to an end, and I feel like this is my home. I come here every year, and the coaches are amazing, and the relationship that I have with every girl on this team is really special. So it means the world to me.
Come on, Chad!
I'm just gonna have good rides. I've had some great success All-American wise the past couple years, and that's really special, but you know, it changes every single ride. A lot of it's hard work, but a lot of it is dependent on the draw that we get. So I'm just gonna have a good mentality for every ride and be grateful, and that's it. These girls and this team has given me the confidence that I didn't have coming in. I mean, I think I could go conquer the world after leaving.
Equestrian heads to take on tough SEC opponents this weekend, and it starts with Auburn later today at 3 p.m. and Georgia on Saturday.
So this is going to be a big one for us. In my 5 years, I haven't been to either of the facilities at Auburn or Georgia. So we're familiar with some of their horses from riding them at, you know, our NCEA championship and everything, but, you know, we don't know who they're going to put in, and we're not really familiar with their riders in this kind of, you know, meet day competition. And so keeping an open mind and being really flexible and really paying attention to the horses' warm-ups and how they ride and the horses' strengths and everything. But also, you can't overthink it. It's a very mental sport, and you got to go in and be confident in your own riding and all of your previous experience. You have to take all of that confidence and how our team builds each other up and carry that into meets, especially away meets, just because it's a completely different ball game when you're on another team's facility and campus.
So I think going into the SEC meets, like, it's going to be tough. We're on the road on unfamiliar horses, but we got to go out there. We got to give it our all. We need to ride smart, and I think we can do it. I think, you know, we have grit, we have determination. Like, I know all the girls are excited. We haven't been there, and honestly, like, since I've been in school, so 4 years. So we're all going to learn together and figure it out.
Good luck, ladies. Stay right there, Frog Nation. We got volleyball, women's cross country, and men's golf when we return. We'll be right back.
You know, we wouldn't be able to do the things we were able to do this year without the Flying T Club. So we got to continue to get people involved. It's more important right now than it's ever been.
Flying T is special. It's the best thing that I've encountered in college. It allows us to be able to offset a lot of the costs that our scholarships aren't able to cover. If people like winning invest in the Flying T Club and NIL, this is really great for athletes and just for future students who want to come here and be a part of something special, man. I just think it's great.
It just means a lot to us players to see all the sport, and it's huge.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham, Insurance, HR, and Financial Services. Inspired by you.
We are back at the Roxo Media House studios here in Clear Fork, and I'm Meagan Winans with women's golf. Lots of firsts this year for women's volleyball in the first 10 games of the season. At 8-2 through the non-conference schedule, head coach Jason Williams' team climbs to number 22 in the nation, and before Wednesday's conference opener, talked about that start as well as sophomore setter Lily Nicholson.
Yeah, just super proud of the team. Just a great non-conference for us. We kind of thought, hey, if we could be 8-2 after the schedule that we put together, that would be amazing. And here's where we sit. So I'm really feeling good about where we did with non-con, and then just looking forward for conference play. Yeah, I think Lily Nicholson has just matured a lot. Last year was really tough for her, just getting thrown in halfway through the season. But just being able to get a spring trained, and then just kind of understanding how our system works. Like, she's been great, and she's just getting better and better. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome for the program. It's awesome for the brand. Hopefully we can draw a big crowd so that we can just kind of show how great Schollmeyer is. I think it's an amazing volleyball facility. The fans are awesome, and seem to be getting a lot more of them lately. I'm just expecting a fun night.
Nicholson got her 1,000th assist last weekend against Rice and sits at 10th in the country at 11 assists per set. She actually didn't know when she got it.
It feels great. The weird thing is, I was thinking about it this past week. I was I wonder if I'm even close. And I was no, there's no way. But it's awesome. I think not playing half of last year, but still hitting that mark now, I think is pretty great, and it feels really good. So
Big 12 play began on Wednesday night, and it marked the first time that TCU played in a top 25 matchup at home, and it was on national TV as part of a Big 12 doubleheader that night. Number 14 ranked Arizona State was in the building and showed exactly why they are a top 15 team by outlasting the Horned Frogs in straight sets 3-0. Williams gave his thoughts after the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think disappointing, right? We just didn't fully execute kind of the game plan, and they exploited a couple of things that we were prepared for, and the lack of execution is just disappointing. But I agree. I think even though we don't feel like this was our best performance, the numbers showed that we could have easily swept them, as well. So kudos to them for figuring out ways to win, and we'll get back in the gym and figure some stuff out. We just weren't in flow enough, but again, they took away what we like to hit most of the time, and we didn't deviate like we should have. This is the start of the real grind, of the season, and we just didn't handle that well tonight. But I think the response will be good. We'll have a good short practice tomorrow. We'll try to right the ship a little bit, right? And I anticipate that Friday will be a much better outing.
This was the first match between the two teams in the history of the two programs, and Williams was able to find some positives with his program, including freshman Evan Hendricks.
Yeah, I think the positives are that we were in every set, considering we weren't hitting our standards, offensively and in transition. We just get 2% better, and we beat a lot of teams in conference. So, we just frustrated because we did not rise to our standards tonight in a big match. So, something we got to work on. Not only every match in conference is tough moving forward, but a lot of our tough matches are going to be on the road. So we got to have a better performance than tonight. Yeah, I mean, she just helped us score some points there, right? We were struggling, and she's been out for a while, and she's kind of working her way back in, and it was just a good opportunity to see what she can do, and she was doing fine, so I just left her in. But Becca's still going to be a big part of what we do moving forward. But it was a good opportunity to see what Evan can do.
Arizona is next up tonight for the Horned Frogs as Big 12 play continues. TCU beat the Wildcats the first time they played in 2012, 3-1.
I expect them to be physical, right? They got a couple of really good pins as well. and they've been winning. I think they did lose to Baylor tonight, so they'll be looking to bounce back after a loss as well.
Get out to the Schulmeyer tonight at 6:30 p.m. Women's cross country has started the season in style with first place finishes in their first 2 matches and a 5th place finish in their 3rd. As they prepare to head to La Tech next weekend, we caught up with head coach Roger Cook as far as what he attributes the early success to and what he looks forward to for the La Tech meet.
Yeah, no, in this group, there was a lot of uncertainty kind of coming into this season. We had a lot of unproven people, some people that missed a little bit of time last year or, kind of redshirted for us. And so with the team being so young and, obviously with Tabitha returning and some of the other girls returning, like we did have, I think we had 3 or 4 of our top 5 that finished at the conference and the regional meet returning. So I did know that I had those girls returning, but the rest I wasn't really sure about. And so to come in and get a solid victory at home against teams that had beaten us in the past was pretty solid. And then also to go back to a meet that we didn't win last year as a women's team and basically face the same opponents for the most part, and get the win. That was very awesome. And so I'm very, very encouraged by the girls team. We're definitely still a work in progress, but we're heading in the right direction. Those 3 first meets of the season, they give us a really good gauge of where our program is. Can these girls run together as a group? Yes. In the right situation, can these girls win? Yes. They've checked those boxes off. Now it's, where are we at? Where are our deficiencies? Where are our weaknesses? Where are the things that are going to help us, do better in the conference maybe than we did last year and all that stuff? And so this whole month period, even through the meet, the Louisiana Tech meet, we're just focusing on those little things like what's our time spread between 1 through 5? What's our time spread between 1 through 10? Where can we get better? Where are our weaknesses at? Do we need a little bit more aerobic base? Do we need a little bit more, the quicker stuff? Do we need foot speed? Do we need turnover? Do we need speed power? Like where do we need, where are our big, items that we need to cover? And again, when you get a block like this, and then the Louisiana Tech meet is put in there specifically for this purpose. But when you get a block like this, it gives you an opportunity to kind of push and kind of see where the boundaries are of this team, really challenge them in some workouts, really put them up, and just see how far they're willing to push their bodies because we don't really have the racing. And so then we go to Louisiana Tech, which, we're going to go there and try to do the same thing that we did the first 2 meets of the season and just kind of reaffirm and reestablish those items that we talked about at the beginning of the season, and then be able to implement those at a really, really high level, the conference regionals, and then, we'll see, about the national meet and everything.
Star runner Tabitha Nagel, who led the team finishing first in the first 2 meets, talked about her team's strong start and what the preparation has been like in the off block before their next meet.
It led me to win because during the summer I have been training all the way from summer, so I had a lot of stuff to do. The books, yes, we had the books, but I had only 1 class, which made me give me a lot of time to train. So I feel like I had prepared well for them. I'm focusing right now on speedway. During last 2 weeks, we have been doing long runs, but I feel now we have to do short stuff, but speedy, so that we get ready to go fast with the other people and catch up with them. Yeah. Some of us, we go big dreams. So I feel like being a Division I student athlete, for me, it's going well because I feel like moving. So the training program helps me a lot because on Monday I have moderate long run, but it's not that long, 15K. On Tuesday I go something 8K speedway. On Wednesday I go moderate the same, 20K. On Thursday we go something hill walk. On Friday we go something speedway. And Saturday is a long run day. So, and Sunday I go off. I had a big dream to come in America and study where, and I got this opportunity. So I'm so glad that I got this opportunity, and I'm ready to do what I came to do exactly. Yeah.
Sophomore Mackenzie Bailey has gotten better and better each meet at 18th, 4th, and 2nd. What is it about the strong start, and what is her focus leading into the next meet?
Yeah, I feel like This season, we've had a really strong, close team, which I feel like in the past years, our team's been really close, but we haven't necessarily connected when it comes to training and racing. It's been a little bit more individualized and everything. I feel like our coach did a great job of bringing us all together a bit more. And then with the freshmen and like we have a new transfer, Peyton, who has really just been great to bring everyone together. We've done more team events and kind of like brought people together for dinners and breakfasts and stuff, which I think has been really nice, and it helps us all connect. And then when it comes to training, we're out there and we know this is its time to work, and we all have really big goals this year, not just for this year, but for long-term success. We're a younger team. We have no seniors, so I think moving forward, it'll be bringing that into every single practice and everything, but then being able to have fun outside of it, and even when we're training. So in training, it was always giving the best effort, which sounds pretty simple, but when you're out there, it's so easy to doubt yourself and everything, and I think we just did a good job of encouraging each other to, okay, we're going to put everything out there and not give up on any of the workouts. So bringing that into training, we were able to know, okay, we should be able to win our home meet and win the UTA meet, because the competition there is not as strong as what we'll be facing later in the season. So those should be meets where we can execute. And I think we did really well. So then moving forward into the A&M meet, we knew it was going to be more competitive, but we also had that training under us. And so it was really, let's go out there and see what we can do. Let's connect and run as a pack. And I think that's really what helped us set those goals and achieve them. I think for me, the biggest thing is, I mean, really for all of us, but especially me, I just want to stay healthy. Last year I didn't get to have a cross-country season, and so coming back to this year, it was, okay, I want this to be a great season, but also something I can build upon. So this is my quote-unquote freshman year of cross-country, because I didn't have it last year. So I feel like looking at it that way, like I shouldn't be the most experienced one out there, and I'm not. And so going back into it, I want to feel like a little bit naive, but in a good way, like just approaching each race knowing, okay, I'm going to learn from this and move forward with that. And so then when it comes to these next weeks of training, it's really, let me go out there but not beat myself up after the workout if it's not what I'm expecting or not how I want it to go. And I really need to take away some of my like expectations of myself in that sense so that I can feel confident about it the whole time. And there's this thing we call rule of thirds, and it's where you're going to have a third of the time where it's a great workout, a third of the time where it's an okay workout, and a third where it's going to completely suck. And I feel like that's really like how it plays out. Like my workout yesterday was not the best, and at first I was kind of letting it get to myself, but talking with my coach, he was like, you're doing better than you're giving yourself credit for, and moving forward, like it's just stacking up those separate training blocks, and even if it doesn't play out exactly how it's supposed to or you want it to, it's still building you up in the long run. So
freshman Ava Centora finished her first 2 meets of her college career with top 10 finishes and explains what it is about this team that had been working and her focus moving forward, as well as why she chose TCU.
Last year compared to this year, like we didn't win those first 2 meets. So I think just right there shows like what difference a year can make with like everybody. I think all the girls on the team, like a lot of the girls have stayed the same, so everybody's just really improved like over the past year and like grinded it out. So that just shows like our commitment and wanting to like improve like every season and every year. The level is being raised, like the bar keeps getting higher and higher, and we just I would definitely agree. Like the 3 weeks we're in the pain cave, so yeah, and then hopefully all that work will show up at the meet and prove that, all of that grinding out those 3 weeks, it was, for something. Definitely running as a pack. Like we practice that on every workout. It's running as a pack, getting each other through the workouts, like staying together, pushing each other. We really try to live by, raise the roof, like, Don't set your expectations high. We set each other at a high level. Coach sets us at a high level, and that's the thing we're trying to reach towards. And that's what we run towards every workout, every practice, just running and reaching like that next goal, Originally, like I fell in love with the campus. Like before anything else, the academics were obviously like my main thing. And then I reached out to Coach in high school, and I didn't like have the super best of times. And then in May, like I reached out again, like last minute, and he was like, hey, like, let's do this thing. And I was like, oh, like this has to be a sign from God. Like it was so last minute. I was like already thinking about going somewhere else, even though like this was my dream school. Like immediately when I saw it, I knew like when he like responded back to my email, like I had to do it. I had to like give myself this chance. And for him to give me this chance, you know, I'm just here to try and prove myself to him.
Coach Cook is proud of where his ladies are right now and talks a little about his messaging going into these meets.
You know, again, keep reaffirming those things that we've been talking about all season, the time gap, running hard all the way through, you know, working through those kind of like, you know, the painful moments of the race and all that stuff. I mean, we don't have timeouts. Everyone's got to do the same load. And I think that's something that's very misunderstood about our sport. It's, no, I have to line 5 to 7 girls up on the line. They all have to cover the 5K or 6K distance the very best that they can. I can't substitute somebody out in the middle of the race that's not having a good, you know, a good race. And so the constant over and over and over again, we need to win. We need to make sure that we are, you know, tight as a group. We need to make sure that we're fighting for one another. You know, this is a team sport. This is very much a team sport. You know, no one can have an off day. This is one of those things. Everyone's got to line up every single day and give me everything that they got on that race. And this is more for, you know, for them to just be able to accomplish their goals and their dreams that they've set out when they decided to commit here. You know, all of them have these big goals that they want to do. Well, my job is to walk them to the threshold and say, okay, like this is what it feels like and this is how hard it's going to be. Are you willing to take the risks? And then we kind of go from there. And you know, again, this group has been really, really fun to coach. This has probably been one of my favorite teams that I've been around in my 10 years of coaching. And it's fun to show up to practice every day with them. It's fun to be around them. They've got great personalities. These girls are just like, they're silly, but they're serious. You know, we may not be the most talented bunch, but we are definitely gritty. And I'm excited just to see how far that'll push us. And that could be, you know, we could be here in conference, or we could be here in conference. We could be here at the regional meet. We could be here. We could be a team that, you know, might squeak in. We could be a team that has, you know, it's not close. So we're still kind of figuring out the identity of this group, but we're excited.
Good luck to our cross-country team next weekend as they travel to La Tech for the La Tech MOOC 4 Invitational. Now to men's golf news. Placing 9th at Valero at 5 under in San Antonio, head coach Bill Alcorn talks about his team's performance.
Man, there were probably 12, 13 top 25 schools there. I mean, so it was a really, really heavy field. And you know, our guys did good. We had a chance. We were in 5th going into the final day, beating some really good teams, and just slipped back a little bit, but finished 9th. And overall, our guys were kind of disappointed with that final day finish. But you know, we took a lot of good things away, and it's a quick turnaround before we play another PGA Tour course in Colonial. We've seen some really good rounds these first 2 events at Sahali and now the Valero down in San Antonio. And really, we've been kind of just one round away from being what we kind of would project a top 20 type team. And so, you know, that comes with some experience, comes with getting used to being in those positions. But, you know, the more times we keep putting ourselves in there, you know, at one point we're going to pop through.
Scott Roden continues to lead the way for his team and finished 3 under for the tournament in 17th place.
Yeah, you know, Scott did a nice job this week. Again, he would say he's probably disappointed with his finish, but overall he's being very, very steady and consistent, which is what you need in college golf as a leader of the team. And so he's doing a really good job. We got great production out of Jack Beecham this week. Jack played phenomenal the first 2 rounds. He shot 2 under, and then he was actually 5 under, but kind of slipped up on the last hole, and he was, I think, in 5th or 6th going into the final day and didn't play great the final round. But again, he's showing signs of being a big-time player, and you know, I'm excited to see him on Colonial and another big-time course with does favor good ball striking and guys that can hit it pretty far. And so I expect those guys to have good weeks this next week.
Up next for the Frogs is the Ben Hogan Collegiate Invitational at Colonial Country Club. One PGA venue to another and a short turnaround.
Yeah, so Ben Hogan Intercollegiate next week is just it's such a historic event played on a historic golf course. And so Charles Schwab is partnering up now with the Ben Hogan Foundation and presenting this week's tournament too, similar to what the Valero did last week. I mean, we're getting a PGA Tour type experience in a quick 2 days, 36-18. But, the golf course at Colonial is phenomenal right now. We were out there yesterday. The greens will be firm and quick. The rough is just juicy enough to give us some fits around the greens and in the fairway. And it really is going to be a championship caliber test. And again, maybe the strongest field in college golf this fall time is going to be at Colonial. And approach play is going to be really, really big. And what we do around the greens, Colonial has very thick rough around the edges, not so much shaved down and runoffs, but so it's a little different than what most courses present through the course of the year. And so we're going to do some good work around the greens. We're going to do a lot of up and down drills, throwing balls, recreating tough lies, and having our guys getting used to figuring that out.
Alcorn expects to see purple out on the course Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, so Monday we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, shotgun, and we're playing all day. So please come out to Colonial. We'd love to have you. Free admission. There's some shuttles coming from TCU for parking purposes. You can park in the neighborhoods as well and walk to Colonial. And then Tuesday we start 8 o'clock to about 10 o'clock in tee times based on how you finish that first day. And we'll wrap up about 2 or 3 o'clock. So, great opportunity. One, to be on one of the jewels of the South in Colonial, but to see the best amateurs in college golf. We are going to have a phenomenal field with guys that have contended on the PGA Tour and events and guys that have made cuts at majors. So of just a phenomenal field with great individual players and should yield to a very good championship.
We will be back with women's golf, soccer, and tennis when we return.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Welcome back, Frog fans. Let's not forget about our team. To start our season, we finished 6th at Pebble Beach, 1st in Kentucky, and 4th in Norman this past weekend at the Schooner Classic. Not a bad way to start the season. Freshman Camille Mingute led the way at 2 under, with Kirsten Ingosta right behind her at 1 under. Gracie McGovern and Sofia Saw rounded out the top 20 at even par over 2 rounds. The second round was washed out with the rain. Kirsten, Camille, and Gracie all shot collegiate low rounds of 4 under, 3 under, and even par, respectively. We got the Jim West Challenge in San Marcos starting October 20th. Women's tennis ITA All-Americans continues as Jade Otway and Isabel Pascal roll into the round of 16 with a huge top 10 win over Illinois. Stay tuned to our socials for updates. Men's tennis, Louis Maxted and Pedro Vives look to continue to roll in the round of 16 today in the singles main draw of the ITA All-Americans. They're also competing as doubles partners and are in the quarterfinals with a win over Columbia yesterday. And a little bit of basketball news, men's star newcomer Micah Robinson is hosting a camp in Plano this Sunday afternoon.
I really pride myself in finding my role and specializing in my role because I feel like every team needs somebody who knows how to do that, and so whatever Coach Dixon needs me to do, that's what I'm gonna do the best of my ability. So whether that's getting every rebound or attempting to get every rebound, that's what I'm gonna do. Of course, I talk about making them shots. I feel like I can shoot it at a high clip. So I'm gonna bring a lot of shooting to the team, a lot of floor spacing, a lot of high flying action in the transition. I feel like if you catch me on the right wing, like I told the guards at startup every time, I'm gonna go get it. And so definitely just a hard worker who's gonna be willing to do whatever coach needs me to do to help the team succeed in the end.
For updates on that, please check out our socials at Frogs Today. Women's soccer remains undefeated with a win over Houston last night and play at Baylor on Sunday. And last but not least, your #1 triathlon team hosting a home race on Sunday at 9 a.m. at Marine Creek. Get out there to support the team. They're looking forward to showing everyone what it's like to be #1 in the country.
Well, I am so excited to be able to show off to Fort Worth what we have built as a team. This race that we're hosting next week is going to be one of the most competitive races we've competed in all year. So it'll be super exciting to see how we compare to some of the best teams in the nation and show them what we've got.
Well, I mean, it's really exciting because we won our home race last year, which was just like a great feeling because it's our home race. Like, we defend the fort. So obviously we're hoping to do that again this year. But I think just, I don't know, expect really strong performances. I'm really excited to have, since it is a home race, there can be other people from Fort Worth and TCU coming to cheer us on. So honestly, just like a strong community and strong performances from all of us, I'm hoping.
That has been this week's edition of Frogs Today. Why not plan a trip down to San Marcos on October 20th to watch us in the Gym West Challenge? Thanks for joining us today. Stay connected with all of TCU athletics right here at Frogs Today. It's been a fun start to the season for our golf team, and we have a lot of fun hosting Frogs Today. For everyone here at Roxo Media House, for Frogs Today, and for TCU Women's Golf, I'm Meagan Winans. This has been Frogs Today for Friday, September 27th. Thanks for watching. Go Frogs.
Roxo Media House.